It has never been harder to stop watching corn than it is right now. Kids as young as 5 are being exposed to pornographic content. And over time, it's destroying your brain. So if you want to break free, I'm going to show you exactly how to brainwash yourself to hate corn in 6 easy steps. But before we even get into it, you must understand that brainwashing yourself to hate corn has very little to do with corn itself. It's all about how your brain is wired to seek pleasure and form habits through something called the mere exposure effect. The mere exposure effect is a psychological principle that states the more you're exposed to something, the more your brain will crave it. Each time you watch corn and feel pleasure, the neurons that control that action grow closer, which will take less energy and less effort to repeat that same action again. Over time, this creates high levels of craving that feel almost impossible to break. So, in order to break free from corn for good, you need to approach this in a scientific way in 6 steps. 1, you're gonna start watching corn in the morning. Have you ever noticed that your cravings for corn are stronger at night? This happens because of an evolutionary response to your body, and you can use it to your advantage to quit porn. According to ECU University, when you wake up, your dopamine levels are at the highest levels they're gonna be all day. Dopamine plays a crucial role in transitioning your body from being at rest to being alert. It's almost like a biological motivator to help you get started with the day with energy and focus. Well, you can leverage this natural motivator by watching pornography in the morning. Now, stick with me here. I know, sounds counterintuitive, but I promise you, I'm gonna get you to the promised land and get you to hate corn forever. You see, when you watch corn at night, your dopamine stores are fully depleted from the entire day. So your brain is craving dopamine and looking for ways to fill it up again. And what happens is you end up conditioning your brain to refill up those stores of dopamine with pornography every night. So in order to uncondition your brain, you need to change the time that you watch corn from nighttime to morning time when your dopamine levels are full. Over time, you'll notice that your experience with watching corn is gonna diminish a bit because you won't experience the same pleasure you did when you used to watch it at night when your dopamine stores were depleted. Now, this is just the first step in starting to brainwash yourself into just completely hating porn. But let's be real here, this is not gonna make you stop. If you're a goon master, you're just gonna keep doing it every morning. For that, you also need to implement these next 5 steps that are gonna fully rewire your brain to hate corn. 2, you need to restore your energy and focus with nutrition. When you're on your path of trying to break free from your corn addiction, you're gonna feel drained, foggy, and irritable. This is just your brain adjusting to the lack of constant stimulation. This mental and physical fatigue is gonna make it really hard for you to resist temptation, which is why restoring energy and focus naturally is so crucial. One of the easiest ways to do this is with your nutrition. You see, your brain thrives when it gets the right combination of nutrients to support energy production, mood stabilization, and focus. So, here are 3 good food options I want you to start adding into your diet daily. The first is bananas. Bananas are an excellent source of vitamin B6, which your body needs to produce dopamine. The second are leafy greens like your spinach, which are high in magnesium, and they play a crucial role in producing more serotonin, what makes you feel happy. But now your mood's better, not because of corn, because of your diet. And the third are chia seeds, which are rich in omega-3s. This supports the structure of your brain's neurons, reinforcing them for better communication. 3, use a rubber band to promote discomfort. You can retrain your brain to hate corn by just using a rubber band. This technique is based on the scientific concept of cognitive dissonance. This is a psychological state of discomfort that someone will feel when there is a difference between their actions and their beliefs. If you increase this dissonance, you're basically reprogramming your brain to hate corn. To do this, I want you to wear a rubber band around your wrist every day. Whenever you feel that urge to watch corn or to go fat, you're gonna pull that rubber band back and snap it against the wrist. It should sting a bit, producing a minimal amount of pain and discomfort. That's exactly what you're looking for. If you do this repeatedly, and you better not cheat, bro, you gotta be honest. Every time you think about it, you snap. You're gonna associate the act of watching corn or fapping with the discomfort of that snap. This is gonna link that behavior with those negative feelings of guilt and shame, which often you end up feeling anyways through post-nut clarity. But now you're doing it before you commit the act. Number 4, you're gonna use the if-then model to stop gooning. If you goon more than once a day, here's how you're gonna stop. You're going to start using something simple called the if-then model. Research is clear. When you make specific plans for when, where, and how you're gonna perform an action, it will increase the likelihood of you sticking to that new habit. So don't just tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna stop watching corn. Nah, you're gonna be more specific. You need to say stuff like, if I see a sexual hot image of a girl on Instagram, then I'm gonna get off my phone immediately. Or if I start feeling bored, then I'm gonna go to the gym. Or if I have the urge to fap, then I'm gonna start listening to music. Or if I see a TikTok of a hot girl, then I'm gonna start doing 10 push-ups. Or finally, if I feel stressed, then I'm gonna watch a comedy show on YouTube. Because you know these 5 things are what trigger you to go onto Pornhub, you'll now be able to defeat them because you have an actionable plan and you know exactly what to do next. Number 5, you're going to build self-control using your non-dominant hand. Instead of using your right hand to goon, I want you to start gooning with your left hand. And yes, boys, I got a study to back this up. It's not just me saying it. According to a study in the National Library of Medicine, they were conducting self-control training using various methods to see if any of them would increase self-control in participants and reduce aggression toward habits. What they found is that when participants repressed an automatic response and replaced it with something that wasn't an automatic response, such as instead of using your dominant hand, you used your non-dominant hand, they ended up improving their self-control muscle. You can use this to your advantage by switching your dominant hand to your non-dominant hand when you do daily tasks. For example, instead of using your phone with your right hand, force yourself to use your phone with your left hand. Instead of brushing your teeth every morning with your right hand, force yourself to use the left hand. Instead of always opening the door with the right hand, force yourself to open the doors with left hands. And finally, instead of fapping with your right hand, why don't you start fapping with your... Okay, that one was a joke. The point here is I want you to start replacing your dominant hand to your non-dominant hand so you can increase your self-control muscle, and the next time that you feel the urge to fap, you will have more self-control and willpower to actually stop. Number 6, use cognitive reframing to create disgust. You love watching porn. How do I know this? Because you can't stop. You see, love and hate, they're 2 distinct emotions, but they are more connected than you think. According to research out of the National Library of Medicine, both love and hate activate your frontal cortex. However, there is one critical difference. In love, large areas of the brain that are associated with reasoning and judgment, they're deactivated. In hate, only a small section of your frontal cortex deactivates, leaving your judgment center mostly intact. This makes sense because when you hate something, you're actively judging it. So if you want to make the final switch from loving corn to hating corn, the key is using cognitive reframing. And here's how you're gonna do it. You'll start by going into the Notes app in your phone and writing 5 long-term goals, such as finding a long-term girlfriend, making $10,000 a month. But the trick with this is that you're gonna start each of those goals with the sentence of, watching corn doesn't allow me to X. X will be the goal that you wrote down. The next time you find yourself on Pornhub, you're gonna pull up this list and you're gonna read it over 3 times. By doing this, you're gonna start associating corn with disgust because it is holding you back from your long-term goals. This disgust will grow over time, and with practice, it's gonna turn into hate. So you can finally hate corn once and for all.